Howdy, folks, and welcome to another edition of Clary's Corner. I'm your host, Heath Clary. I have a great interview with you for you today with Will Frizzell from Texas A&M. Having an incredible start to the year, hitting over 340, 18 home runs. Last week, he was especially good against Ole Miss, winning the SEC Player of the Week, as well as a slew of other awards. We have a great chat about his injury history, his incredible year this year, and just his evolution as a hitter, really tapping in to his incredible raw power for the first time in his career. So we get to the bottom of all that. Hope you really enjoyed the interview. I know I did, given it. Will was a great guest, and I just ask you to go to heathclary.com afterwards. Check out my book about Texas A&M baseball, of which Will was a subject on that 2019 team, as well as my new book about junior college baseball.
Heath Clary. Heath did something no man had ever done before. Walk in and coach the college baseball team, say, "Coach, can I go wherever you guys go?" Travel some, be around the entire team and then document it all. Clubhouse, dugout.
But it was a great team with a lot of talent, and like I said, I think all those guys will play in the big leagues pretty soon. All right, we welcome into Clary's Corner, Will Frizzell from Texas A&M baseball. How's it going, Will?
Doing good, man. How are you?
Doing great. Thanks for joining us today. First question I have to ask my guests. I know you did read my book about Texas A&M baseball. What did you think about that for the most part?
It was really cool. It was a fun read. It was really easy to get through. It was just kind of different seeing everything laid out there. It was just a lot of things that we go through every day, and then to read it all, it was a really good reflection for a lot of the guys on the team. I know that.
What is it weird reading about yourself for that much?
Yeah, there's definitely some parts where you're like, oh wow, I guess I didn't really think of that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, you've been hitting really well of late. How do you just feel like your year's going offensively?
I feel like I'm having a really good year. I feel really comfortable, really healthy, and it's been a lot of fun at the plate for me this year for sure.
Mm-hmm. Now the Ole Miss series specifically, 2 weekends ago, it won you the SEC Player of the Week. I'm sure a lot of other weekly awards. What about that weekend? Take us through that one.
Yeah, that was a crazy one for me. It was, you always go into a weekend wanting to have a really good weekend, and I don't think I even set my marks that high for that weekend, and just completely exceeded them. I feel like I was seeing the ball really well, and just really get my best swing off every plate appearance. So I felt great.
Yeah, so the stats were 7 of 12, 5 homers, 11 RBIs. And when I played, I had some good streaks like that too, but nowhere near that kind of power, right? What is it like when you're in one of those stretches? Like, do you really see like a beach ball coming at you, or is that just kind of a cliche phrase?
I feel like I've seen the ball well all year, but that weekend, for whatever reason, I just wasn't hitting anything but home runs. Like it was so different, where it was like I just wasn't missing. Like there's been so many weekends where I feel like I've hit the ball so well all weekend, but it's been line outs, stuff like that. And then that weekend it just all came together, I guess.
Yeah. How about so you walked it off on Friday night, right? That was kind of a back and forth game where you guys won, obviously. And what happened in that last at bat? Just take us through that.
That one was, it was kind of crazy because they came back and tied it. And we've been a team all year that's had so many close games. And when they came back and tied it, it was kind of like, all right, we need to win this game in the 9th. Like we don't need to go to extras if we're going to have a shot to win the series. And I was leading off the 9th, and it was a freshman pitcher on the mound. And I was really just looking for a fastball, and he threw a slider, and it just worked. Like I just hit it, and then it was just crazy.
Yeah. And then you do it on the 3rd game. You hit, I think, a go-ahead grand slam. right? And that one I think was on an 0-2 count. What happened there?
That one was crazy too, because I mean, it was one of those where it was like, all right, in my head, I'm just thinking, all right, if I get up in this inning, I think we're going to win this game, that kind of thing. Like, that was all that was going through my head, is if I can get up this inning, then I think we'll win. It wasn't, if I get up this inning, I'm going to hit a grand slam. That wasn't even what was going through my head. It was just, if I could get up, we would win, because we would get so many pitches out of the closer and maybe get them out of the game before the end. And Ray had a great at bat to walk before me, and then Sartori did the same thing. 2 great at bats back to back, both walked. And then first pitch, I missed a really, really good pitch to hit. I was on time, just fouled it back. And that was the first time that weekend that I felt like I had really missed a good pitch to hit. And then the next pitch, I was kind of looking slider, and he threw another really good pitch to hit, and I was late. So just kind of in the back of my head, I was just thinking, like, I mean, they've thrown me 2 fastballs. I feel like they might try to go another fastball just a little bit higher to see if I'll chase. But if I was like, if I don't hit it, then I'm probably not going to get another fastball. So they did. They threw another fastball up in the zone, probably out of the zone. I hit it, and that one was wild.
Yeah, you knew it was gone when I left the bat, I assume.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. I mean, you've done it 18 times this year, so you kind of know that feeling pretty well.
It's been different for sure.
Now, I remember whenever I was kind of covering the team quite a bit, your career's been a lot of injuries, right? Mainly to your knee. I mean, did those start in high school? And just kind of what has been all your knee problems? Like, just tell us about that.
Yeah, it started in basketball in middle school, actually.
Really? Okay,
I started having problems, and then it just kind of like lingered on through high school. I got here, felt great my freshman year, and then towards the end of the year started having some problems. Got a small surgery to try to fix it, and it didn't really work. And then sophomore year, played that year, hurt, knowing I was going to have to get a big surgery. After the year, got that big surgery and didn't play all fall my junior year. And then started hitting again during Christmas break, and during the spring just DH'd. And I think I was actually about to start playing first, but then COVID happened and shut down the season, so didn't get that whole season. But I've felt great since my last surgery, and feel like everything's extremely normal, and feel really healthy, probably the best I've ever felt health-wise. And I just feel really comfortable. Feel like I'm in my legs a lot better than I've been in college, and just feel like I'm moving around a lot better.
You said you're healthier this year than you've ever been? Is that what you said?
Yes.
I saw you leg out a double in the first series of the year. I think you legged out a double. It was a ground ball double. You legged it out, and I was like, dang, Frizz if he's running like that, he's looking good. Do you remember that?
Yeah, it was so different than last year, where it was kind of like they didn't want me to try to ever push anything. And really, since I've been here, they've just kind of been the coaches have been very cautious with me and my injuries, not wanting me to really push anything. And then this fall, it was kind of like, hey, like, how are you feeling? Like, can you just do whatever you feel like you can do? And I was like, I mean, I feel extremely normal. Like, I feel great. Right. So that was kind of whenever we loosened the grip and just kind of let everything rip. And it's been different for sure. It's felt good though.
Now, after 2019 season, you had I think a very serious knee surgery, right? And I know someone told me that you might be done with baseball. What kind of surgery was that?
I mean, I don't really think I ever myself really thought that I would be done. I felt like I owed myself, if I was going to get another surgery, I owed myself a shot to play and just see how it felt. And that was just a big thing for me. Like, I've just played baseball my whole life, so I didn't want to go out that way. So, because it was always a big thing for me, I wanted to play baseball until somebody said I couldn't. So I didn't want myself to be that person. So I was going to do whatever it took to get back on the field.
So you always thought you were going to be able to come back and play a healthy season, huh?
Yeah, I mean, the rehab was definitely tough on the last one, and there were some bad days, but I was just ready to get back out and try to play, because the hardest part was going through that fall, not being able to do anything. I felt more like a coach that whole fall than anything, because there was no baseball activity. It was just straight rehabbing for my leg, and I think I was coaching the first baseman. And so it was a really weird situation, because in my head I was thinking like I wanted to be able to play first in the spring, and I was giving a bunch of different guys the secrets to first base. Like it was something like there's not really many secrets to first base, just trying to help them slow the game down for a bunch of new guys. But it was a different experience for sure. But I feel like it helped me a lot coming into this year.
Yeah, you've always had some pretty incredible raw power, right, as a hitter. I remember, every year pretty much like either Shu or Logan Foster, somebody would tell me like, oh, Frizzell, like he's hitting the best. He's like really good. But this is the first year where you're really tapping into that power, right? So have you evolved as a hitter, or has your swing changed at all? Or is it just a matter of you being healthy now?
I think it's a little bit of everything. I think learning from a guy like Shu helped a lot, and just getting to see how he went about his day to day and like his routine and stuff. Getting Coach Kai and Cliff Pennington was a huge thing for me, because I got to learn from a 10-year big leaguer a routine that really works for me and can get me ready to play every single day. Made a couple swing changes with Coach Kai and Coach Pennington, and nothing really crazy, just some things to put me in a little bit better position and get down into my legs. Being healthy is a huge part of it. But yeah, I think there's being healthy, having those guys there to really fine tune everything that I do, and then having a guy like Braden Shoemake to learn from was huge. So I think all those put together with confidence helps a lot. So
yeah. Has Kai helped you hit for more power? I know before it was I feel like they were teaching y'all to hit line drives up the middle, right? Is Kai more like turn and burn, or is it a different approach than before, or how's that work?
It's a different approach for sure. Kai is just big on, for me, he doesn't want me to hit ground balls. And that's something that we've worked on a lot, is just getting the ball in the air and trying to hit the ball off the wall or over the wall is a huge point of emphasis with me and Coach Kai, and just working on a lot of body control stuff and just getting myself in the best position to hit every single day.
So it does help your legs under you, right? That obviously helps. Do you feel like are you 100% healthy?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's the best I've felt by far.
Like you don't have, it doesn't hurt at all. Like you don't feel any limitations?
No, I did, but during quarantine and everything, I think I lost 30 pounds, and I started running a lot and just working on like getting myself ready to be able to play a whole year of defense. I felt like I needed to be in the best shape I could be in to be able to move every single day, do that kind of thing. And you know about the 6-minute mile. I was having to run it because we had to, if you made your classes pass fail, you had to run it. And I made all my classes pass fail because I felt that was best for me. So it was a big thing for me. I wanted to make the 6-minute mile again because I made it my freshman year. And I just kind of wanted to prove to myself that I could still make it. So I lost weight, made the mile, and just felt really good about where I was at. And I think losing that weight really helped with my legs for sure. Just being more mobile and being able to get into them with my swing. I feel like that was huge to be able to lose that weight and kind of put it on the right way.
Yeah. How about, so last year, the year that got cut short, I remember you hit a couple big home runs then too. And like, were you healthy that year?
Yeah, I felt really good that year. It was early, and it was kind of like we were gradually getting back into it, because a week before that season was the first time I think I ran to first base. Like, it was the weekend before opening weekend was the first time I even ran to first base, and like opening weekend was the first time I ran bases at all. So it was very much so like, hey, we're starting this weekend. We want you to hit. but like if you're on base, we're probably going to pinch run for you for the first week.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt really good, and we were just taking things slow, but I for sure feel like I was on the right track to have a good year.
Yeah. How disappointing was it that year got cut short? Because you were hitting for power. Zach DeLoach obviously was unconscious, and Asa Lacy was probably one of the best pitchers, if not the best in the country. Like, you feel like y'all could have accomplished a lot together?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that was the most talented roster I've probably ever been a part of, was that team right there. And we were an extremely close team as well. It was a lot of guys from my class that were really emerging. Like Chandler Joswalk was off to a good start. Roa was doing his thing, and it was going to be a huge year for Roa, I feel like, especially pitching after Asa, who we all know how amazing Asa was.
Yeah.
And then Zach was finally, like, he had ups and downs before, but he really found himself last year and was on track to have an unreal year. And I feel like our lineup worked really well, and we just had a lot of depth. And I mean, it was tough whenever the season got cut short, because we had a lot going our way, we felt like, and we were about to get into conference and really make some noise.
Yeah. That's interesting that you said that about the 2020 team being one of maybe the best, because I thought the 2019 team was pretty dang good. But what if you could have had the 2019 team with you, the way you're hitting this year and the year Deloach hit last year? I mean, do you ever think about that stuff, or no? It's like, what if?
I mean, I try not to, because like there's just so many. You want to do so good all the time, and we're like, I feel like if I could have hit this way with Braden Shoemake would have hit 30 home runs and hit 400. But just whenever he was here, I didn't do a good enough job of covering him up, so he got pitched around a lot. And it's just stuff like that where it's like, if we could have had if I could have had this year, then what would have happened?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So just finishing off, just go back to this year. You have 18 home runs, hitting well over 300, having a career year. Like, what's it been like to go through a year like that?
It's been great, honestly. I just feel so good at the plate, and it's so different playing with a guy like Shu for 2 years and really getting to know him and being a really good friend of mine.
Yeah.
I mean, he taught me how to go through something like this more than he knows, probably, just with the way he carried himself and everything. Because it's much different. It's a much different year than any other year, not because of the success, but mainly because you just get pitched completely different. Like I feel like every week every team has a different plan on how they're going to attack me, and then it's me not really worrying about that and just worrying about how I'm going to stick to my plan and use my plan to outweigh theirs all the time. So it's been a much different year for me. With the way our season's gone, it's been very taxing on everybody, because we feel like we're a very good team and we've just came close so many times. So it feels great for me to be hitting well at the plate, but it's just so different.
Yeah, because you're the guy in the lineup, right? Where in other years it was, Shoemake or something like that. So that's interesting. I would never have thought that. So I'm glad Shoe was there. Heck of a leader, right?
Yeah, for sure. You learn a lot from a guy like that.
Yeah. How rewarding though is it to? I mean, obviously the success is good, but is it even more rewarding considering all the injuries and adversity that you had to go through your first 3 or 4 years as an Aggie?
I mean, I feel like I've always had this in me, and for me to be healthy and be able to play at the best of my abilities is huge for me. Just, I feel like I've always been a really confident guy, but to go up there just with my plan, knowing that I can beat anybody, is just an unreal feeling for me, to just be healthy and go out there and do whatever I can to help the team win. So yeah, it's been a different year, but I feel great.
Yeah. I mean, what's your plans after this? Is this going to be your last year, or have you thought about that?
I mean, I've always wanted to play professional baseball. That's always been a dream of mine. So if that happens, that happens. I'd be extremely excited. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what the future holds. I'd love to play professional baseball, and I love playing baseball for Texas A&M. So
Yeah. No, I'm sure you're shooting up the boards for sure with with the year you've had. So wish you the best of luck, Will. Thank you for joining us today, and can't wait to see what you accomplish going forward. Glad you're finally healthy.
yes, sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you for watching that episode of Clary's Corner. I hope you enjoyed it. Now you have to go to thejucolife.com to check out, learn more about my book, The JUCO Life. Even though it is not a huge topic, junior college baseball, it still is one that's very important to college and professional baseball teams. And really, there's never been a book like mine to dive into everything, every aspect of JUCO baseball, what makes it so special, so pure, and so beneficial. So again, that website is thejucolife.com to go learn more about my book. And definitely after you buy it, go review it on Amazon. Hopefully it's 5 stars. And then go be a force multiplier. Go tell a couple other people that you know who like baseball or sports in general about the JUCO Life. Share the website with them, because I promise you they will enjoy it as well. Also, don't be afraid to share it on social media. Subscribe to the show if you like Clary's Corner. Share it with family members too, and so that you never miss an episode. Thank you very much. This is Heath Clary with Clary's Corner. God bless.